So the one and only Devin Haney, who has been hella critical of Shakur Stevenson, he had to pay Shakur Stevenson his respect this time around, as you guys saw him clapping for Shakur after he beat Zepeda. With that being said, even though the fight played out exactly how I predicted, I was still impressed with both Shakur and Zepeda. I mean, how can you not be impressed with Shakur Super Saiyan Stevenson when he was dodging the punches of Zepeda like Goku Ultra Instinct? It was hella impressive. On the other hand, I gotta give Zepeda his flowers for giving Shakur the toughest fight of his career. That's one hell of an accomplishment. Mark my word. Most likely, Zepeda's biggest accomplishment is going to be giving Shakur his toughest fight of his career. At least so far. I mean, if Canelo's biggest accomplishment till this day was losing to Floyd, that's what he's known for. And I'm talking about losing to Floyd every single minute of every single round. You can even say every single second. Therefore, Zepeda giving Shakur a tough fight in a very close fight, that's a real accomplishment. I always say it's not a big deal if you lose like Shawn Porter used to lose in a close competitive fight, kind of like Lomachenko too. These type of losses don't affect the fighters that much. Compared to when Shawn Porter lost to Crawford by KO, automatically he retired that evening. There's a reason why Lomachenko chose to retire instead of pursuing his dream and making the most money, especially when the money was going up. Lomachenko turned down his biggest paydays to fight Shakur and Gervonta. See, Loma didn't want to fight Gervonta because he thought he was going to end up like Porter when Crawford knocked him out. That's why Lomachenko retired early the moment he saw the young black American fighters like Keyshawn Abdullah Mason, and then he had to deal with the killers like Gervonta, Shakur. He was like, hell nah. If I can't cherry pick, I'm out of here. I truly believe, forget about the best fighters like Gervonta, Shakur, Keyshawn Abdullah Mason. Man, Zepeda alone would have had beaten Lomachenko. Styles make fights. Lomachenko cannot deal with the Mexican style. Salido showed that and proved that, and that's why Loma avoided the rematch and never fought a Mexican-style fighter since then. He didn't want to fight Pitbull Cruz, because Pitbull would have had negated Lomachenko angles when he attacks. You see, Loma is effective when he attacks and uses angles, not off his back foot when he uses angles. We saw that against Salido and against Teofimo Lopez. I mean, Loma didn't do anything off the back foot. That's why Zepeda would have had been a nightmare. That type of pressure, and because he's a southpaw, he would have had negated all of Lomachenko angles and forced him to fight. And Loma not having power, man, it would have been a nightmare for Loma. That's why Loma retired. Forget about the top fighters. Even the fighters that are not on top would have had beaten him. You see, Top Rank, I gotta give them credit. They have the best matchmaking. They will make anyone look special if they want to. They made Gennady Golovkin look special without any special effect. HBO, that is. So with the right matchmaking, you can make anyone look good. That's why Lomachenko ran out of boxing when competition went up at his weight class. You see, Lomachenko is really one-dimensional. Gennady Golovkin is one-dimensional. Lomachenko, people think just because he's, the Matrix, this, that, and the third, but the man can't even fight off his back foot. Remember what Floyd Mayweather had to say about Gennady Golovkin? He said the man has no special effect. He's straight up and down. If you want to fight me, since we don't fight at the same weight class, then fight Andre Ward. If you beat him, we can talk. And Gennady Golovkin ducked Andre Ward, the second best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, like there's no tomorrow. Literally, he ducked him his entire career. As crazy as that sound. Well, guess what? The fighter who has special effect is Shakur Stevenson. He got the Ultra Instinct special effect. That's why I call him Shakur Super Saiyan Stevenson. We saw that last night. With that being said, Bill Haney came out and pretty much said, if you guys want to see Goku versus Jiren in boxing, that's pretty much Devin Haney versus Shakur. That's the real big fight. And one day they're going to clash. And I totally agree. But before then, Shakur does have to work on his jab. Because I don't know why he's never comfortable throwing the jab or using it as much. I know he's using it for defense, but he can still throw it and still have that twitch to counter after that in case someone tries to counter his jab. Now, if Shakur is going to stay on the ropes, that's fine. However, he has to counter more off the ropes, especially between Zepeda punches like Floyd Mayweather used to do. But what Shakur was doing more so with Zepeda is counter him after he finishes throwing, which you can do that as well. Shakur is the master of catching you off position. However, the punches that hurt the most are the ones you don't see coming. If you throw a shot and you get hit, that's when you're not expecting it. And if Shakur did that a little bit more, I think he would have got Zepeda attention even more. I think he got Zepeda attention. That's why Zepeda slowed down. I don't know if it was a body shot that slew William Zepeda down or just he got tired of throwing all them freaking punches and missing. On top of that, getting countered with more punches when it was Shakur Stevenson's turn, William Zepeda did good enough. He did everything he could have had done. I mean, he threw some shit at Shakur. Excuse my French. He was throwing every punch in the textbook. And he managed to actually land the most on Shakur. I never seen Shakur get hit that much. But he was comfortable. He had to fight that way. From the Tom and Jerry criticism, Shakur had to bring the dog out and turn to Spike. From the ring being smaller, Turkey placing an 18 by 18 ring, and from Zepeda applying all the freaking pressure, Shakur chose to fight this time. Usually you box the fighter and fight the boxer. However, Shakur beat William Zepeda at his own game. Do you know how great you gotta be to beat someone at his own game? A matador can't do what a bull does, and a bull can't do what a matador does. But Shakur just did both. In fact, he was a matador and he beat the bull in the inside. Just think about that for a second. Imagine Turkey did the opposite and he placed a 26 by 26 ring where Zepeda had to box Shakur. So Zepeda didn't apply pressure or anything like that. He was just boxing mid-range, trying to outbox Shakur. How you think that was gonna look? Zepeda's chances of beating Shakur would have had went down to -0. And that's exactly what Shakur did. He beat Zepeda at his own game in the inside. You guys said he was gonna run. The only thing Shakur ran was his fists to William Zepeda's face. Let's see who Shakur fights next. Shakur is a free agent, so he's free to do whatever he wants. Therefore, the tank fight is makeable. Gervonta has no excuse not to fight Shakur next after Lamar Roach. William Zepeda, on the other hand, he said that Gervonta is better than Shakur before he fought Shakur. The reason why he was saying that is because he knows he can't be throwing all them freaking punches at Gervonta, because he's just going to give Gervonta more opportunities to knock him out. That's another fight Gervonta can have, actually, is William Zepeda. But after he fights Shakur, Gervonta has a lot of problems right now. He got a Lamar Roach problem, and after that, he got a bigger problem in Shakur Stevenson. Let's see what Shakur, Tank, and William Zepeda does after this. Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Fight, but I'm sure that Shakur, he's built for this. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching him since he was a kid. He's built for this, and nothing is distracting him. He's focused.
There are so many options
You
for
won't
Devin.
see nothing big until Shakur and Devin get in the ring together. Other than that, they're going to walk past them, and they're going to continue to build what they're building, and that's what's happening right now.
I mean,
Shout out to
they're
both
both into a
teams.
fight. Is it